All right. I am in Drogheda, Ireland. I am joined by a ragtag group of individuals, and I would like to introduce them to you right now. Actually, I'm going to let them introduce themselves. We'll start with this. Let me see. How can I describe them? We'll start with this tall, handsome, rugged, strong, brave, and kind-hearted individual. Go ahead. Tell them who you are.
My name's Rory McCann, owner of 10 Planet Jiu Jitsu in Carlo. And
that's him.
That's it. That's
all
me.
Right. Then we have this other gentleman. I'll save the adjectives for some other time. Go ahead and tell us who you are.
Keith Kavanagh, a purple belt, and training at East Coast Jiu-Jitsu.
To you now, sir.
David Anderson, 10 Planet Blue Belt under Jeremy Fields, much more handsome than Rory. just being humble for the guys. That's me.
Well, Sean Applegate from Alabama.
Brown
belt 10 Planet Jiu Jitsu, and I'm just grateful to be here.
Dylan He, just a useless white belt.
That's about it.
But it's very important that if you're listening to this, you note the distinct difference in accents. So we're going to play a game here called Repeat After Sean. All right? So Sean is going to say something, anything. It's his call. It's dealer's choice. You're going to repeat that, and then you're going to repeat it, and then we're just going to enjoy the differences. There's no real end point to it. All right, Sean, ready? Go.
30 quid.
30 quid.
No, you got to say it like you would say it.
Yeah, that's how I say it. 30
All
quid.
right, go.
30 quid.
Ooh.
Putting into those guys first. 30 quid.
30 quid.
Yes.
Here's one.
30 quid.
All right, ready? Go.
These black shoes.
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 All right, so here's the difference. All these first three gentlemen, they're from Ireland, different locales. But this big brown belt killer to my right here, he is not from Ireland. Where are you from?
Melbourne, Australia.
Oh, man. And just in case my friend Frank Barker listens to this, because he's in Melbourne, Australia, I want you to go ahead and tell him why you never trained with him while you were there.
He doesn't like him.
Because it wouldn't have been free. I get jiu-jitsu because coach is
Because
my
Rory is
brother-in-law.
your brother-in-law.
Exactly.
You just didn't know what you were missing at the time, did you?
Hopefully it's free now if he's listening.
Gordon Ryan kind of took the place as the top black belt, but like the brown belt killer, that's still up for debate.
Oh, yeah?
Any context, people are just going to be like, who the fuck's this guy?
Who's the brown belt killer?
I'm not brown belt.
I completely forgot to ask. Who won the absolute afterwards?
Oh, man.
Did Ryan
Here
win
we
it?
go. All right, ADCC
Second.
2017. Let's just go through and talk about that just a little bit. So star of the tournament, Gordon Ryan, for sure.
Yeah.
So 22 years old, he runs through, he wins his bracket, right? So his first match, he beats Dylan Dennis. A bit of a controversial decision from what I understand. I don't know. I haven't seen the match yet. But he got him. And then he goes into the second round. Who do you have in the second? Was that Homulo?
Did he
Yeah.
tap? I didn't see any matches, only a few highlights. Did he tap Dennis?
No,
No,
that's
no.
kind of stalled a lot. No points
Ref decision
scored.
by the end of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was hesitant to engage really, and then I think Gordon was attacking a bit more, but
He picked up a couple of single legs, but
a while ago.
Gordon was kind of just shoving them off.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he wasn't really in danger at any point, I don't think.
So basically, the way it works is, I guess I haven't seen the match either, but the rules at ADCC are that if the time runs out, you go into overtime. It's 5 minutes points, and you can't pull guard. If you sit to guard, you lose. That's a penalty, like -2. Apparently, no matter what happened in that first 10 minutes, it's all erased if you go to overtime, and whatever happens in these next 5 minutes decides it. And that doesn't mean just in the points. That means if there's no points, then only the actions that the players took in the overtime round count towards the victory. So you'll be judged on these 5 minutes and these 5 minutes alone. So apparently Dennis was working during the 10, but during
Coasting
the
during
overtime,
overtime.
That's when Gordon kind of took control.
Right. Okay.
Well, that makes sense.
Now in
Proper's on
reverse-
Dylan for
In reverse of that, when Gordon fought Shanji today, they said it was the other way around. They said that Shanji dominated the overtime and that Gordon should have lost the match. So
Yeah, I heard that
it's
too.
kind of like a 50-50 thing. Until I see the matches, there's no way I can really give an opinion on it. So
But yeah, that's the word on the streets.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Gordon beats who in the second round? He taps
Rory.
Romulo,
Yeah.
right? With man,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
was that one of the most amazing back takes you've ever seen in your
He
life?
was asleep. The other guy didn't know he was in ADCC. It really did. Like, it was as if Gordon just got to his back and he was just like, yeah, I'm fine. And then he got choked.
Dude,
Back take was amazing.
that was insane.
it's one guy
Insane.
you don't want on your back.
It's the same exact back take, like to the T. It's the same back take that Craig Jones hit on Leandro Lowe.
Yeah.
It's the same move. It was beautiful. It's like a diving Granby, sort of. It's a diving Granby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, as they turtle, or like if they pop up on, the position ends up being real similar to if they tried to pop up on dogfight and they missed the underhook,
Yeah.
and then they're Granby, like dive into the far shoulder with a Granby roll and
Yeah.
coming up. That's what it looks like to me, at least.
It's beautiful.
I have not tried it at all, so
And he was straight on it. He didn't miss a beat. Like he was.
both of them. It was a drilled move. Yeah.
And then it was Shanji after that, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
In the third round was
Yeah.
Shanji. Yep.
And then finals, Keenan. Wow. I
He
didn't
hit
expect it to go that way at
He
all.
hit the prettiest move of all time against Keenan to finish him.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, that was. that was something else.
That's as good
that
as it
mounted
gets, man.
Gilly. Wow.
Well, the takedown is what.
Yeah. Yeah.
That just was gorgeous. It was such complete control. The way he hung his weight down and forced him to step. He's going to force him to step with his right foot because his weight was all buried down on that guillotine. And as he went to step, he just straightened his leg and continued to fall. And it just effortlessly
Yeah, it's beautiful.
flipped Keenan right over to the bottom of the mountain. He made the kill instantly. It was gorgeous. So, yeah, Gordon, 22 years old. We don't get a lot of Americans winning ADCC. So, USA.
Yep.
All right, good job, Gordon Ryan. You're a beast. But then in the absolutes, he was even better.
Yeah.
I thought his finishes in the absolute. Who was first?
Cyborg.
Yeah, he tapped Cyborg in like 2.5 minutes.
He
It was-
did?
Yeah, Honey Hall.
Yeah, he got into Honey Hole,
Oh,
and he didn't
wow.
even he didn't even get the grip
As well.
together.
Like, as soon as he knew that he was on that heel, it was just before
Yeah.
he even got hit in, it just straight away.
Yeah.
that's
Oh no, he didn't even get his grip together.
No.
No, he didn't even get his grip
He knew
together.
it was just.
When they were in Honey Hole, you could see that Cyborg was not used to being there at all. He was just doing this.
Did he
Hanging out,
panic?
just hanging up.
He
I
didn't
wouldn't say he
panic,
panicked.
just looked like he wasn't there.
He just
was
didn't look.
kind
He
of
had
like
rehearsed
in shock.
the rehearsals he needed.
He
Right
wasn't
there.
ready for that. He doesn't have anyone in his camp pinning him the way that Gordon pinned him in the 411. So guaranteed in his training, he's like getting his hips up off the mat, spinning, pulling his leg out, doing the whole nine. But as soon as he felt that like helplessness, like, oh, I'm stuck and I can't move,
Yeah.
there was no secondary defense. It was just
And propers to him for recognizing that and not forcing
Yeah.
Gordon to injure him.
yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like people are gonna be like, "Oh, we didn't even wait to get the grip together. He tapped." I would hold on a second.
Elvira, how do you pronounce her name? The girl from Finland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mackenzie had her in a pretty well deep enough hole. It looked like it was getting her foot.
How
was
cool is
pretty-
that? We
pretty
had our
contorted.
own Eddie Hoyler 2003 moment
Yeah,
ADCC this year.
sure
We had a
was.
10th Planet Brown belt take down a world champion. That's crazy.
Mm.
Just
One of
wasn't
the
with a
best
submission.
Female grapplers.
Oh,
of all
arguably
time.
the best right now.
She ended in.
I mean, you can argue it.
You can argue anything.
She's a world champion.
It's hard pressed to put anybody against Gabby Garcia.
Oh well, I didn't even consider her, dude.
At
Like,
least with
that.
a 4-year-old Asian woman, though.
Yeah.
At least.
She's beat Gabby once.
but she's
I think.
tapped Gabby, right?
Once, I think, right? How many times has Gabby beat her up, though?
1,000.
Yeah, Gabby just looked like an absolute grizzly bear out there.
I hadn't seen any of her
Per the
matches yet.
usual. There was literally a match at ADCC. It was the first one I ever watched with Gabby Garcia. She went out with this chick, and she just kind of like did this like PD roll type movement with her hands, until she hit the girl in the head enough times that the girl broke down to the turtle and she just choked her. And that was the end of the match.
Jesus. Oh, she's a breed, man.
Like what you would expect, like a hunter, like who shot his last shot and the grizzly bear got to him to look like, you know what I mean? Like full Leonardo DiCaprio, the Revenant moment. Like for this girl, she was getting
The
mauled.
Revenant. Dude, that movie was pretty good. I really enjoyed that motion picture.
Yeah.
It was a fine one. Okay.
The basketball sort of movement works with a lot of things, though. Like just that whole like like if you.
No,
can't-
I do that
if
junk
you
all the
can't break
time.
something, like
Yeah.
even with Kimura's as
Spider
well.
web.
Sometimes they'll just shake their hand, or
Okay.
if you've got spiderweb the basketball on their head.
I hear you, and I think I might have miscommunicated. She didn't put her hand on the girl's head and shake it. She hit her on the top of the head
Jesus.
77
There.
times until
Yeah.
the girl finally just couldn't take it anymore. Right? That's what it was.
There was a few slaps.
He's like,
CC.
I might have miscommunicated.
It was a bit more violent than that.
I like how you lent it to like good technique though there for a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. He tried to look. You see how he tried to make it all about how much he knew. Did you see that? Jesus, Keith. Jeez, Keith. Man.
That's just the fucking douchebag Jiu Jitsu. It's that stuff that you don't want to do to someone, but you're just kind of like, I want that out back.
Hey, look.
To practice it as well, right? Someone's got to suffer the consequences.
So then, Gordon did Craig Jones in the second round,
Yeah, I think so.
which is amazing because Craig Jones had one of the best. I mean, to me, that was the best first day anybody could possibly have.
Yeah.
He beat, in my opinion, those are the two favorites to win the tournament. I would have picked Leandro. Me, you know what I'm saying, me. I would have picked Leandro Lowe and Marilla Santana to win the bracket.
It's crazy.
And-
Yeah.
And then Jeanji tapped Rustam with an armbar from the guard. That would have been my other guy. So they all went out, dude, on the first day. Insane. Was that first round, Jeanji and Rustam?
Second.
Second round. Man.
It's crazy.
Then Gordon, round 3 in the absolutes. Who did
Muhammad
he
Ali.
tap? Yeah, inside heel. I hadn't seen that one yet.
I missed that one as well.
Yeah.
That was the one that didn't even show up on the stream for me.
Oh, it just
was saying
happened
that
too
it was on
quick.
the other mat, but it was on.
He got it
show
on the legs fast, probably. They didn't have time to flip the camera. And then he lost to Pena 6-0 in the final. But that dude went gold and silver in the absolute.
Pena's got, there's something there with Gordon that Pena's got figured out because he's beaten him twice the exact same way. He submitted him rear naked choke the first time, and then he beat him on the back with points here in ADCC. So there's something going on there that Pena
Knows about his game that
yeah.
he doesn't. That Gordon doesn't even know about his own game
Yeah.
yet.
Some kind of weird situation there. But Pena,
You know, he probably got a training partner who tries to do it just like that, and he's just got all these reps on smashing that kid.
Yeah.
That's how it ends up working a lot of times, right?
there's also an interesting dynamic that happens there with those two guys because they both have the same kind of build, that long, lanky, build, you know. So I wonder how many guys can replicate that for Gordon in his own training.
That's a good point.
Like they can't just be that body type. They have to be like super high level, like at that with that body type, you know. So I don't know. Who knows, man? Felipe Pena's got his number right now. That's
Yeah.
2 rule sets he's beaten.
So he won double gold, right?
Felipe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He got gold at weight.
Yeah.
And then he got gold. And then, P.S. Rear naked choked Buchecha to get to Gordon.
Yeah, right.
Did you hear that one?
No,
I
I didn't.
missed that.
Till just
He
now.
he took Buchecha's back and put him out with a rear naked. Not out cold. Not out. He didn't sleep him. But he took his back and he sent him to the house with a rear naked choke. Buchecha.
Anybody beating Buchecha is
In any way.
huge.
Yeah.
Much less to break down. Like, to me, that's either an arm triangle or a rear naked choke is a sign of complete dominance. I put you on your butt, whether you chose to go there or not. You're on your butt. I passed your guard. I crushed you until you gave me exactly what I asked for. Now you're dead. Every breath you take moving forward is by my mercy.
That's a good way to look at it.
That's complete domination. And that's what he did to Buchecha.
Wow.
It's hard to believe,
That's
dude.
incredible.
I didn't see the match. I only saw the ending.
Who can say?
He might have just caught him in a transition.
How many people
Maybe.
out there can say they submitted Buchecha? Not many.
Oh, wow.
Only a couple, you know.
Well, I'll tell you somebody that probably could say it.
Hey. If he was brown belt. Sean's next.
You got to roll with Sean. That went pretty well then.
Not for me, no. He's so little too compared to me.
I know he's a little bit deceiving.
Crushed me.
You think he's gonna be like a normal dude,
No.
and then
No, I didn't think
rips
that
you to
at all.
shreds.
I didn't
Yeah.
think that at all, actually.
Yeah, well, that's just because you got his reputation. But look at him; he just kind of looks like a normal fella. He'll pull your arms off.
And your legs.
He don't care about your legs.
Doesn't give a shit about any of you.
He doesn't care about you people. So anyway, I guess Sean and I are out here in the UK. We've been doing a series of seminars. Flew into Dublin first, so we just flew into Dublin, then came down here, and we stayed with Dave and Shauna and Keith, your dad, Dave. All you guys have been so awesome to us, and it's been a real honor, man, for real. It's been really amazing, kind of making a little Irish family, dude.
Anytime.
It's been a humbling experience.
Yeah.
So I feel
Very
like
humbling.
months ago I had that humbling experience when I rolled with Sam up in East Coast, and I went up there. Now I feel like I'm not getting any better at getting close to passing his guard, but I kind of felt like my defense was getting better. And then you guys came over, and it was just like, what the fuck? That's anything I know about jiu-jitsu. Is it true? I don't know.
So we did the seminar at Rory School first. They're in Carlow, Ireland. So it's 10th Planet, Carlow, Ireland. We'll try to link.
in front of my friends.
And Keith was my.
He rolled you like an alligator. He death rolled you.
Anyway, enough about that. I don't want to. We'll have to tell tales outside of school. It's not about that. But except for if you tapped a brown belt, you know.
Then you gotta tell everyone.
Then you got to tell it.
Or a couple.
Then you got to tell it, you know. Dylan tapped a brown belt in case y'all didn't hear.
That was only like 2 months in. Oh, come on.
Just we'll put a link to the brown belt's bio in the show notes so that you can send them some GoFundMe stuff. Oh shoot! So yeah, we did the seminar in Carlow with Rory, and then we went down to Southampton, England, and we were with Rob Rooney, and they were awesome to us. Then from there we went to what was next? Darlington with Luke. Man, I enjoyed that trip too. We got to stop in and see. We stopped at the city of York, and so we got to see some of the architecture there and all that kind of stuff. It's pretty cool, man. The history here is just so much more like robust and interesting. It's just so much
This
Older.
town especially as well.
Yeah.
It's just like it's noticeable because you see all the old walls and stuff like that built
Yeah.
around the place.
Mm.
Yeah, York was incredible.
And that
man.
dude's head.
And that
Small
dude's
boy.
head that we saw in the place here, yeah, in the church here. So then from there to Birmingham.
Pretty good.
We went to 10th Planet, Birmingham, and spent some time. Had to go with the Peaky Blinders. Was that pretty good?
Very good.
Thanks. I've actually been practicing it. And they keep telling me it's not right, but
It
that
shows.
I felt like that might have been my.
Horrible.
That was Mr. Holland's opus right there. It's not gonna get no better.
That was horrible. I'm sorry. Very horrible.
Blinders. You didn't like blinders?
Not really.
Let's hear yours. Say I went down to 10th Planet, Birmingham, and
Can't even think of the accent.
I had a little tussle, a little scuff up with
You
the Peaky
say that
Blinders.
first. You say it first.
I just said it.
in
No,
English
No, I'm
accent.
throwing it down. I'm a brown belt at this.
Can't
This is your
remember what
chance.
you said.
Oh man, that was a crazy experience. Those guys are out of control. Chris and Mick, they wild.
Nick
That's
is something else, isn't he?
man.
He's a funny character.
Yeah.
Such a good guy to have on
Yeah.
your Facebook.
Yeah,
Can't imagine what it's like to train with him
Well,
regularly.
listen, I feel like I don't know if we can tell this story without waking the baby up, but I'm just gonna tell you. One day,
I'll let it slide.
I don't know. One day, me and Sean are gonna tell you guys about what happened in Birmingham, England, at the Chinese restaurant, and you won't believe me. And then I'm gonna pull up the footage of the 3 British chicks saying it's all true, every word of it. I took video because I knew nobody would believe me if I told this story later. So one day I'm going to tell y'all that story. But it's not going to be tonight. Because, I don't know. I'm just not ready. I got to practice it. I'm just going to put it on the podcast.
That's the certain story that I need.
So, Rory, tell us about how you got started training. Like I want to hear about like the Irish Jiu Jitsu scene. Like, what's going on out here?
Yeah. Well, I started watching UFC back whenever the Ultimate Fighter 3 was on, which is probably like 2007, 2008, maybe.
Was that when Cole was on there? Cole Miller?
No.
He was on 4.
Kenlo Grove won that one, and Michael Bisping.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so I started watching that, started getting really into it, and started thinking, like, I want to train this. But the only place in the country was John Kavanagh's Straight Blast Gym Ireland. So at the time, he was only like in a school gym where they had to pull out the mats, and it was a bit rough and ready. But I went
that's like the place we went to in Southampton.
Really?
Yep, they were still pulling the mats out every class.
Setting it up just in a hall.
Takes dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
God, that's got to be a pain every day. I'd say that gets pretty boring. But yeah, thought it'd be great to train it, so went up and did a few classes there, and then he moved to Racool, got a pretty nicer gym there, and I did I don't know, maybe about 6 months training there, but I didn't take it too seriously. I mean, I liked it. I didn't really like the striking aspect of it at all. I didn't like getting hit in the head. It didn't feel good, but I really liked the grappling. So yeah, I trained there for maybe about 6 months, maybe like once, twice a week, like not really too regular, but I really, really enjoyed it. And then I ended up moving to San Francisco, where I stayed for 5 years. But I gave up the training, and it wasn't until 3 years later I was living in San Francisco, and I started getting really into Joe Rogan's podcasts. And one day Denny was on it, Denny Procopos, and I was like, he's got a gym in town, like, I used to love doing jiu-jitsu, I should pop down to it. So I did, and that was in March, I think, 2012, and from the first day, that was it. I was like, this is it for me. I love this.
That was your people.
I'm hooked, that's it.
Yeah.
This is it.
Denny's amazing.
Denny's
grappler.
amazing.
He's been a great competitor for 10th Planet over the years, man.
And an amazing coach.
Yeah.
Like, so inspiring.
Well, you can see it in the guys he produces. You're really good.
Oh, it's crazy. But, like, he just brings the confidence.
We had a little go earlier.
Little tussle.
You're pretty good, dude. No kidding.
Thank you, sir.
Really good jiu-jitsu.
When you see how motivated he is, like, he's just he's so intense.
Yeah.
In such a good way, but it's just...
Oh, but that runs just off to his students, and they all just bounce off each other, and it's an incredible place. It's brilliant. So I trained there for 2 years, and I look at that as like my official start in jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
Never really had any interest in training in the gi at all. Just wasn't into it. Yeah.
You'd already had 2 exposures to grappling without it.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem natural.
Yeah, like before I even ever put a gi on, I was like, I don't think I'd like that. I guess I'd already made up my mind. But then, after 2 years training under Denny and 5 years in San Francisco, I decided to move home. And I had no choice but to put on the gi. Like, I was just bouncing around to all these local clubs and local schools and just trying to get in as much training as I could. But most of it...
Twistering everyone.
Yeah, but I mean, I had to...
Was he notorious for like going to people's schools and twistering them? Is that true?
I had a few twisters tonight, but it's too... Like, they don't know how to...
You tried to twister me, you turned.
I tried badly.
Dave was competing against some guy before, and I remember saying to Rory, asking him if you knew him, and then he said he didn't know him, but then he seen the picture. He was like, "Oh, I did roll with him before, man." And I was like, "How'd it go?" And he was just like, "Oh man, he's terrified of me." I was like, "What did you do to that poor guy?" Sorry, go on.
Try to be nice.
With your words.
Yeah, with my words. So I was doing a little bit of gi training.
Try to be nice.
Doing a bit of gi training, definitely better than no training, obviously. And I mean, I talked to Danny about it, and he goes, "Look, just use no gi grips. Do you know what I mean? Just play your own game. Like, everything that works in no gi is going to work in gi." So I did. I was just still all about overhooks, underhooks, and all that. And I wasn't mad at the gi pants, the lockdown game.
Yeah, that you feel like that.
Yeah, it
helps
tightened up like a fucking vice. It does. It's crazy actually.
you out. Yeah, that's what Eddie says. And, I mean, it's true. When you wear them, you definitely get a lot more friction out of the legs. A lot. I mean, it's infinitely more.
No wonder he always.
Especially
wears it.
training somewhere like HQ, where there's so less. It's the slipperiest training
Yeah,
environment.
it's
of all
LA so
time.
hot, right? Like,
Well, but even
it's black. It's jet black everywhere.
and it's so slippery.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you don't have some kind of friction on your legs, you almost can't play the game 80 plays. So makes sense. Yeah.
So where was I?
I don't know. I like to interrupt you as much as possible.
Then you told you use no gi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Back home, training a bit of gi, tried to get as many no-gi classes as I could in, and then was home 2 years, and Denny was over in Birmingham doing a seminar. He was doing like a UK tour, and I was like, right, I'm just going to go bounce over and see him because I hadn't seen him in 2 years.
Yeah.
I was missing him. And I talked to him before, and he said, yeah, that's cool, Rory, I'm going to give you your purple. And he says, now that you have it, I think you should open up a moon. I think you should do it. There wasn't one in Ireland at all. And I was kind of like a bit negative and a bit like, I don't have any money and like I don't really have much means to do it. So I went home, but thinking about it, got to talk to one of my friends, my best friend Mark, who's like a very smart business guy, and he's like, yeah, look, I think it's a great opportunity. I'll give you a dig out, and it ended up not really being that much money to start it off, but he helped me with the whole start your business thing and all the paperwork and all, and getting the money for the mats. And then Halloween, I opened up the club Halloween last year, so I'm coming up to 1 year anniversary. And it started off, I was still in the process of having to fill up all the warm-ups for Denny to get my affiliation approval. And the only other person who knew the warm-ups really in the country was this man here, Keith. But Keith lives a fucking 100 miles away from me. So I was going up doing a lot of trips, getting a few of them sent back. So it was a lot of work, like we put a lot into it, but it made it all the more sweeter when I got it.
Yeah.
So for the first couple of months when I wrote my club, I couldn't use the 10 Planet name, so I just went with Carlo Nogi Jiu Jitsu Club. It was the first thing that came into my head.
Yeah.
My sister actually designed a pretty cool logo and stuff. And then New Year's, so only 2 months in, that's whenever we got all the warm-ups down, and got my affiliation and launched 10 Planet Jiu Jitsu Carlo.
How many students now?
I've only got about 20 paying students. I've got others that come in and drop in, but it's growing. It's a slow build. But,
of course, it's going to be slow.
Shit, I'm like...
You're having to educate a market as well.
Absolutely.
Like it's not just you're starting a new business. You're starting a new business in an industry that people aren't really aware.
Yeah.
You've got a solution to a problem they don't even know they have yet.
Exactly.
So you got to teach them about the problem, and then you got to help them solve it. So good, man. I would love to be in there. The guys are good. You're exceptional.
Oh, thanks.
So I want you to just keep doing what you're doing, man. I really think you guys have got something special going on here. So, what about you, Keith? Give us the lowdown.
I started MMA 5 years ago now, because David over here to my left used to do a bit of Thai boxing, and he did a bit of MMA. After a long time of him telling me that I should try it, I eventually just looked up the closest gym, went to that, didn't know what Jiu Jitsu was, got triangle choked. I was like, what the I need to know all of this. So got hooked straight away, been to gym since then, and had a few amateur MMA fights at a full power gym for a while, and then I was teaching there for about 2 years, but I was kind of I wasn't getting the right training in, so I decided to move to East Coast under Darrell O'Connell, because there's no easy rounds up there, just good variety of different bodies with different games, solid passers, and I feel like a lot of the problems I was
He's a
having in
monster, right?
competition, they could have. He's a monster.
Yeah.
It's the best gym in the country, I reckon. It's a talent pool. It's.
I've been saying it for a long time. Even if guys ask me what would be the best pure jiu-jitsu gym in the country, for even before you open, I just said East Coast. It's a different level. The guys are just, there's so many competitive guys who are competing on a European level and a world level as well. And Dara himself competes regularly, and
he's good, man.
He's a beast. And for so long I kind of thought I'd love to have that kind of pure jiu-jitsu vibe in the gym. Then after a while it got to the point where I was like, why don't I just go to that why don't I just go to East Coast and train with those beasts because it's only going to benefit me. And I've stuck on the gi again recently as well. I'm enjoying it because I'm actually learning. Because my first few encounters with the gi weren't fantastic.
Yeah.
No. Now I'm learning stuff, and even the stuff that I'm learning, like Dara's game is very similar, no gi and gi. It's very to do with a cross face if he's passing, and not just that, but like it's just stuff that doesn't necessarily depend on grips, but he knows about shutting down grips when you need to. He knows how to translate it to the gi. So just training there, competing regularly, and doing my thing.
Fighting as well.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Haven't been fighting. I think the last fight was in July, and then I was really excited to fight again after that. But then, after the dust settled, I just kind of got back into my in love with jiu-jitsu ways. It happens.
How many fights have you got?
3, 4, 4. Is it?
What's the record?
2 and 2. Lost my first fight. Went in way too early. This was in my first year of training, I think. Went in way too early. Got destroyed for about 3 rounds, and straight away I realised, like as soon as the first shot landed, I was like,
Spent
fight.
spent the whole fight shooting scissor sweeps.
No
Yeah,
way.
Jumping scissor sweeps.
Because like,
the whole match.
You're trying to throw like a
kind of
Rio Chonin kind of stuff at Anderson Silva.
But I had kind of progressed with jiu-jitsu a bit more than striking or anything else, and I kind of thought, it'd be fine going in there with just jiu-jitsu. And then you go in there and you realise it's so much different when there's someone trying to kill you in there. He's trying to get that win just as much as you want that win. So after that, trained a bit better for it, but I still kind of had a very jiu-jitsu approach for my next fight. I went in against a guy, Alex Brophy from SBG, really good guy, really nice guy as well.
He's good.
Seen him at competitions, always a friendly guy. And he trains with the likes of Lee Hammond and some absolute beasts. But went to a split decision with him, but I kind of went with like a whole leg lock mentality at the time, and I felt like I was kind of dominated the match. Even got his back a few times, but just because I was on the bottom attacking legs a lot of the time, was just in the judges' eyes, that's nothing. So next fight, prepared a lot better for it. Won by guillotine, second round, and then fight just gone, I won by doctor stoppage. His eye was messed up from, I don't even know what caused it. Something happened, swollen to bits.
So you're
Expert
2-fight win streak.
It, right?
I like to say that, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just say it.
Just say that, yeah.
Just say it.
Just expert.
Leg locks. The first thing I said to Lydia, who works for MMA Connect TV and did an interview with me after, as soon as she came back into the warm-up room after my fight, I was so fired up and the adrenaline was pumping. And I remember before, when I went to roll with her about a year ago, she was just like, only authentic jiu-jitsu, no leg locks. And I was like, oh, you motherfucker. So as soon as I seen her coming in with the camera, I was just like, leg locks, fucking fine. Authentic jiu-jitsu.
Authentic.
Authentic.
Yeah, there you go. That sounded real proper.
That's real authentic.
All right, where do you, Dave? Let's go.
As Keith said, like I used to Thai box when I was a little younger, and found Chris Fields, who's fights on Bama, right? He was my first MMA coach. He opened up a gym out in Blanchardstown with Emma. I'm not sure. Second, I think he trains out of SVG as well, purple belt. And we didn't do as much grappling. A lot, like any grappling we done was mainly kind of you learned your triangle, learned your arm bar, learned how to stay in mount and ground and pound, stuff like that. But it was very little based jiu-jitsu, like. And then Keith started. When Keith started jiu-jitsu up here, and I eventually moved up to Drogheda, and then we found the 10 Planet system. They started doing rubber guard and stuff like this, and everything had a name. It just became so easy to learn it, with just learning from that system rather than constantly just looking over at one of the boys and seeing.
So you
which
like
way
learning
you're
when you
torn.
can have like a step. This,
Yeah, you know, like
it's
that's
much
one
easier.
thing, that's what I love about rubber guard. You know, like start, mission control, what's next. You know, see how they react.
Yeah.
You know,
I remember as a beginner that was
one
really
step,
important to
and
me.
I think that's so important. Like
Yeah.
it's very easy to learn, and not only that, but it's very easy for a coach to turn around and look at it and say, you know, like, well, you know, where's your zombie? You know, like his arms on the mat, you should be hugging your knee or whatever. Like, so for as I said, Keith's knowledge about the warm-ups and stuff like that, like Keith's a knowledge hub when it comes to jiu-jitsu, especially when it comes to tampon all over mastering the system when I was out. Then when your website came out, like the game changed, like. Well, like, yeah, then we got real big into leg locks, and like once we moved up here, we just constantly just gym hopping. Like the gym was constantly changing place to place, same kind of scenario. Putting the mats down at the start, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, putting the mats down, mopping them 15 minutes, 20 minutes, taking them up. You literally lose half your class. Trying to get as much jiu-jitsu on as we could, compete as often as we could for as many competitions. Like I think when we first started, like I'm doing 3 years. When we first started, there was maybe only like one jiu-jitsu competition every 3 or 4 months, like, and then even at that, they're like 80 quid to enter. So, like, depending on how much you're paying for your gym fees in the first place, like if you're not walking and stuff like that, that can be a bit of a cost. Now here in Ireland, like we're getting a jiu-jitsu competition at least every month. Like there's a couple of guys that are doing every 3 months to do one competition. Like so,
everybody I've met over here has been super pumped up about competing.
Yeah, man.
You guys love to compete.
Yeah. That's what it's all about, right?
Man.
But that's what I train for. I understand people train for self-defense, but I'm training for gold, man.
You're training for glory.
Yeah, man. It's a big community, but it's just small enough.
Yeah,
like
100%.
We know the guys who are in the scene, so like it's always exciting. There's like people are always excited for. I know it happens in the States as well, but like the whole team title and stuff and competitions, that stuff gets people excited, and then just having those like good rivalries to have, like the good healthy relationships or
a good rivalry will take you to the top, dude. You need somebody like that.
100%.
You kind of need people like that in the gym, like that you're like gunning for, but not in like I'm gonna take that dude out, but like I'm trying to get to where I can beat that guy, because then I'll know I've gotten somewhere. When I can start beating him, I'll start going. The way you're gunning for Rory, the way you're gunning for black belts now.
Brown belts are all
brown belts, that's fake news now.
Those brown belts have got the black belts now. He's seen that brown belt get his black belt, and he's like, "Oh, the game just changed." He's like, "I'm back."
Maybe so. It won't be long.
Yeah, I think it's important to set yourself goals and test yourself as well. Like, I think when you're in the gym, constantly rolling with the same guys. Like when me and Keith roll, we can roll some days for like 2 minutes. He can smash me and get 2 or 3 taps in that 2 minutes. Or some days we can roll for 20 minutes straight and just be stalemate constantly. Like I think people constantly put you in check, and people study your game in the gym as well. When you're going out and you're in a competition, I think that other guy wants that win. You want that win. He doesn't know your game. You don't know his game. It becomes this weird kind of defense or attack mentality, and I think it's important to go just into defense as you would go into attack. I think people, if you go out and just attack, I don't think it's going to necessarily work out for you all the time. Like when you just lie on your back and allow it to attack, and I just end up getting armbarred. I walk myself into 2 armbars. Like
every single person who rolled today was just like it's just so much worse when he looks like he's not trying.
It's psychological
that's
pressure.
Point, because you're just attacking, and when nobody's attacking you back, and you're not looking for that hole, and it's just
it's amazing. It's a completely
it shows you where your technique, where you lack in technique when you can't finish something, when somebody's allowing you to do it. Yeah. You know what I mean? When it's their resistance that tires them to end up you getting what you need to get. You know, that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of Decky in a way as well. Decky Down, he used to always just say like, it's not just the techniques that are beating you when it comes to the sparring. Like you'll look up at him and you're just like, I was starting to feel like I was picking up speed. I felt like I was landing some shots and kind of finding my rhythm, and then I realised he's just breathing over there. He's just getting his breath back, that motherfucker. He's just defending enough, and then he started picking it up, and I realised I'm kind of fucking tired. And then he just picked it up, and then I just always have this in my head of him going psychological warfare. That's all it is.
He had a very good ability of managing to get that last 10% out of you. Like when you were at your quitting point, he'd slow down. Like he'd never let you be better. Like, but he'd just be 10% better than you. Enough for you to be like, oh, I'm getting somewhere, and you're constantly just draining yourself. He wouldn't let you stop. You know, that kind of thing. Like he just wouldn't put you out. But it's very good ability. Like, and same with yourself. You know, it's just to lie there, and then as soon as you get something in and you feel like you're, say like I took a back, tried to take a twister, and it's just the smile just tells you alone. Like when you just look and see that smile, you just know we ain't going anywhere. I'm waiting to see what you're going to do because like I'm about to be in pain real soon. Don't smiles like that and twist on nobody. But yeah, so like jiu-jitsu in Ireland's starting to pick up now. I definitely think so. More schools are popping up, more
That's
people.
blown up.
Like you only have to look at the competition floor to see like the crowds that are building up around, like and the hype that's coming up.
Man, I think you guys are gonna. I think you are at the start of something special here. Especially when I hear you talk about it, and hear how passionate you guys are. Like, I think you're gonna have something really cool going on over here. I think you're onto something.
I think so too. And I'll tell you something amazing as well. One of my blue belts, James, he's a school teacher. I think he teaches music. And just on Monday gone by there, he's after talking the principal at an all-girls school to put jiu-jitsu into the curriculum.
Wow.
So he taught his first class on Monday.
Amazing.
That is incredible.
Oh,
That's a huge
it's huge,
thing.
huge.
100%. That is huge.
Damo Dowland's been doing that as well from Bard Jiu-Jitsu.
Has
He's
he?
kind of gone school to
Brilliant.
school just doing demonstrations.
Yeah, amazing.
Board.
Well, he's a brown belt.
Well, yeah. If he's a brown belt, he probably.
Watch his back.
They watch his back.
he better.
You can look at his background and be on.
I remember hearing Casey Halstead before he promoted some of the brown. He was just like, now that you're brown, like you have to get black. There's no way you're just stopping and just like fucking not getting your black belt now. But now after meeting Dylan, the brown belt killer,
Yeah.
my perspective of that has just changed completely. You have to go, just quit.
That changes
You're
it.
better off.
Make it quit.
Or get to black belt.
He tried to
as quick as
goon. He
possible.
tried to goon me tonight. He scared me.
Oh,
Yeah.
He came after me.
I did
You
not.
did. You were scary.
I did
You're
not.
scary. So you held back? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You're trying to be
I
nice
didn't
to
want
me.
to hurt you.
Well,
You know.
I kind of
Reserve
believe you a little
energy.
bit. I kind of feel like that might be true. So, what are you doing over here from Australia?
Rory's sister is my better half.
Much better.
We'll say that. And, yeah, she got homesick once we had the baby, so we come back here. I've been here for about 6 months.
You like it?
Love it. Love it. It's
Were
great.
you,
Except for the rain. Rain's too much.
Were you nervous about the switch?
Not really.
Yeah.
No.
Ready to get out of Australia?
Yeah.
Frank Barker too close. Smells too weird.
I'm pretty chill kind of person, so I was like, yeah, it's all good. And then it took me 2 months to get into jiu-jitsu. All he ever talked about was it, so sooner or later I had to have a go. I've been doing it every day since.
You're not doing too bad,
That's
man.
about it.
So, would you say 3 months in? 2
4
months
months
in?
in.
4 months in.
4 months.
Oh,
And
man, I
about,
feel like you're 6 months in, though. That was sharp. I apologize.
it's alright.
That was right under the ribs cage there, like Commodus.
But about 2.5 months, I did have a brow belt.
That's all he was talking about.
I've talked about
Well,
it.
actually, that's all I've talked about. Once I heard that, I was like, okay, it's on.
Boys a killer.
What do you think about what do we think about this trip, Sean? Had a good time?
Yeah, man, it's been really interesting. It's only that I've only been out of the country a few times to teach jiu-jitsu, so the first time I ever left, it was for like a third world country, so that was like a super stark contrast to the States. But then I went to Canada, which is like basically the United States,
Just
with
colder.
some weird accents.
Yeah.
And then I came here, so it's been a really positive experience, man. Different cultures everywhere. It's crazy how much the culture changes when you just
From city to city.
just move a little bit,
Yeah.
and you got a whole new, And then the jiu-jitsu out here, like everybody's super into it. Like they're down, they're ready to learn, they're passionate, So, and everybody's been really nice and like welcoming and really looked out for us too, which is a big one for me because I'm a young guy and this is only the third time I've left the country, so I'm like, somebody looking out for me means a lot. So everybody's been really cool, man. It's been awesome.
I think everybody's so nice to you because they're scared of you.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever.
I'm scared of him.
$20 is $20.
Oh, yeah, man. It's been So what's the future hold for you guys? Like, what are you trying to push towards? What's the goal set?
Better bombs, that's for sure.
I wanted to have someone with shoulder pressure and make him feel as helpless as I did when I was rolling with Sean and you.
Man, I need to get a new bag. I'm just going to collect salt.
That's the new plan.
Like,
You were rolling
a
tonight.
little pocket just right there, and every gas just into the
Because that was
pocket.
our first time.
I was
one of the
rolling
good
with,
ones since your shoulder injury
yeah.
as well. So then, like, I was kind of like, right, I'm going to start playing. I'm going to try to play that top side that Sean was playing on me. And next of all, you just came at me, and I was on the bottom. I was like, wait, what's going on?
Rory dodged the bullet tonight.
Yeah,
I'm
Roy, I
I'm
saw
scared.
him. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I did. He came over to me,
It's good.
yeah, before training, and he said,
Don't let Dave near me.
"I don't." He did like that. He looked over his shoulder and he went, "I don't." Can you just make sure Dave doesn't call on me to roll? Because I'm really nervous about it.
That's why you stood in front of him.
That's
I've
exactly
seen
why.
that shit.
Yeah, that was why. I wasn't gonna say
He's
anything
been
about that.
gaining weight, so we don't need a competition. That's why he's over from Australia. He's in a diet, man.
That's what he brought him in for. He's got him on a steady diet of kangaroo meat and Twinkies.
Wait, so I had kangaroo last night.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
Good,
isn't
it
it?
was good.
Oh, at the
it's
Chinese
good.
restaurant?
Really good. At the Chinese restaurant, yeah, I ordered some kangaroo. Yeah, they
Is
messed
it
up
thick?
so bad, and we were like, there ain't no way we're paying for this bill.
Bring in the
So I just
sauce.
slipped through the menu and I was like looking at all the real expensive shit, and they had like kangaroo. I was like, yes.
Told you it was good.
Is it really
It was
strong?
real
Like, is
good,
it
dude. I
too
took a
chew?
bite of it.
Nah,
I
man,
think I took a bite
it was
before he
like it was
did.
real tender, like beef, you know, just like a regular beef.
It's like a really well marinated steak. Like it's.
Yeah.
Yes.
I only had it on a skewer. Like I don't know. Did you have a steak of it or?
It was you know, like pepper steak you get at a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah.
So it was like that, but it was kangaroo instead of beef.
Yeah.
Sautéed.
Yeah, it's
There's a new
good.
place open
pretty
near
legit.
you that has some.
Kangaroo?
Is what?
Kangaroo?
Yeah, the tapas
Amazing.
place
Oh,
on
crocodile. Crocodile's one of the-
Crocodile's
the
good.
street my gym's on.
Yeah.
Very high in protein.
What about you, man? Where you plan on taking the gym? Like, what's the goal set for you?
Oh, taking everyone to the next level. Taking myself to the next level. Taking my coaching to the next level. My students. Next month I unleash this beast into the competition world.
Honestly, you'll do pretty good. Man.
The 0
Yeah,
to
as
6
long-
month
as long as there's no
category are in
purple.
trouble.
As long as there's no white, blue, purple, or black belts, I think you'll be fine.
Yeah, as long as you fight only brown belts.
Well, cool, man.
There
Well,
will be footage.
oh,
There will definitely
Yeah.
be footage to follow.
look, I need us to get like a Facebook group where I can just kind of be in and just so I can see what's going on in the 10th Planet Ireland community. I need to like have like a little
We do have a group.
thing. I need to be in it. I want to see it.
We do.
I need to add me.
He loves this group.
He's very proud of it.
That's good to give Keith shit on the group.
Yeah.
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 I'll add you
That
to
does
the
sound
group.
good. You were talking trash to me tonight while we were rolling.
I talk trash to everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He does.
People I've never even met. Oh shit.
That's my favorite thing
That'll
about
be
you.
so funny. Like, what
You
the
can get away
fuck?
with it because of the accent.
I love
You catch
hearing
him off guard sometimes.
it. Sean, what were the words you were telling me the other day about the Australian accent?
Okay, so listen, if you're speaking English with an American accent and you read certain words, it can make it sound like you're saying something completely different in Australia. So, rise up lights.
Rise
up.
up lights. Okay.
I'll say that all together.
Rise up lights.
Razor blades in Australian. You say razor blades.
Rise up lights.
Lights.
Rise up lights. Rise up lights. It's the same.
Or beer can.
All right.
What is that?
Say beer can.
Beer can.
Beer can.
Okay.
Faster.
Beer can.
Bacon. If you keep saying it over
Beer
and
can.
over again.
Beer can.
Yeah.
I said like
Oh no,
bacon.
because you say beer differently than we
That's
do.
true. That's probably
Yeah.
Okay,
We
so
played this
yeah.
game at the start, right? What should do is at the start.
Wes is we're bringing it home. And it's all coming back.
Finish it up.
This is a pattern. I don't know if you picked up on this. We're going another hour. All right, well, I got to get some sleep, dude. We're going to fly out in the morning, head back home. So, just want to tell you guys I love you and thank you for everything. Thank you, Shauna. We appreciate you guys tremendously. It's been
Thanks for coming over.
an
Yeah,
amazing
really,
experience
really
for
is.
us, man.
It's been a very humbling experience.
Brandon, anytime you need to use an electric kettle No.
I know where to go. Electric kettle.
I was
Electric
betting the
kettle.
last few days.
I'm telling y'all, I'm gonna have it down.
He's been at home.
2 or
in
3
bed.
more trips.
Electric kettle.
But it's been amazing having you two over. It's like just I haven't used the term I've got my mind blown so much in this week. Like it's crazy. I couldn't sleep Tuesday night after hanging out with you. I was trying to process and like it was just mind blowing. I don't know how else to describe it. It's like some stuff you're showing me. It's like my life has been a lie. It's been great. I really hope you guys had a good time. Just good enough so you'll come back sometime.
Dude, I'll come back next week if we get it right. I just got to get my wife with me. That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like, man, it's hard leaving, especially got the kids, man.
Yeah.
It makes it just so much harder. So, but yeah, I'm McCatherine, dude. It's an Irish name.
Yep. Mac.
I'm Irish. This is my Irish people.
Pronunciation.
These are my people.
They're also more than welcome.
The rest of I don't know if you want to meet the rest of them. I don't know about that.
The offer is there.
Okay, we'll see then. yeah. That's the. If I could do something like that, I'll go anywhere. I might go stay in Australia for a month. Next month we'll come to Ireland for 6 months.
Bring
staying
Frank
longer.
with you.
Okay,
Bring
that's-
Frank.
Yeah, I put Frank in my carry-on.
Yeah,
It'll be
it's
fine.
small. You fit it.
Yeah, I don't even have to check him. Yeah, man. It's been amazing for real. It's been amazing for
It's
real.
crazy. Like Rory said, my mind's been so blown just thinking of techniques that I've already worked before, but the concepts that you've both gone over. It just feels like I'm learning everything in a different way. I'm relearning the techniques that I already know. It's just I'm seeing everything so differently, and it's just kind of, even if you showed us like that pass, now I'm kind of thinking whatever concept you were going over, I apply it to the legs with some technique, and I'm just like, it fucking works from there too. I'm cursing, sorry. Apologies. Yeah, mine has been blown the last few
Well,
weeks.
you guys are really lucky that Sean is here for real. Like a lot of people don't know yet, but I think y'all know now.
Oh,
Sean's
incredible.
on the next level.
Yeah.
He's a incredible grappler. Incredible. He's kicking my tail all over the place right now. So
But he keeps so quiet about it. Like, why
Yeah.
are you going around with a crowd?
because this is what I get paid for. I'm Sean's hype man. That's the only reason. Let's be honest. That's the only reason I made it. I'm Sean's hype man. I'm just supposed to run in, get everybody fired up. Sean Applegate, wow! And then everybody
comes in and
freaks
takes
out,
everybody's
leg
lunch
locks
money.
everybody, takes all that money, and goes back.
I can't do the trash talk thing, man. I like people too much. So when somebody tells me they hate me just because they heard me on a video saying something, I'm like, well, damn, man, I like you. You know? Like, I like you guys, so I hope you don't hate me because I said something to try to make some money.
a little thin in the skin. Me too, man.
Well, I just, you try to, I don't
Just
know.
try to do people the right way, man.
Yeah,
Always.
yeah.
Even
I
if
hope
it
he
doesn't
gets
benefit
some
you.
seminar with you next time, because
Yeah.
even just
Yeah.
watching over that
Yeah.
class that you didn't jump
Oh,
on, it's just
yeah.
Yeah, we'll do
certain,
it.
like, just basic.
The
things.
little bits I was just earwigging was like, oh shit, oh yeah, and then like straight back and taught it.
Hey, man, that's $20.
I mean, I didn't hear anything.
You're weaving.
Paid her, I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm overwhelmed by the trip. So it was amazing. Just everybody I met was so friendly.
That's great.
Right off the plane this morning, Keith's mom picks us up, takes us back. Keith's dad makes us breakfast. That's huge, man. Totally could have just been in some hotel somewhere, like eating some kind of like biscuit, which is what you guys call them. Some kind of biscuit like thing, and just like, but it's amazing, man. I love it. I love people, and I love all you guys. So it's been humbling for me for sure.
Yeah, the
And
company
they got
makes
the
a trip.
Irish Josh Yelverton. Look at this guy.
I know, right? I've been thinking that the whole time. He looks just like
He's a
Josh
podcast.
Yelvo.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's the polar opposite of what just happened here tonight.
Yeah. It wouldn't have been like this. Yeah, if you like this podcast, you might like Josh. What is the
Yellow or
tell-
something.
what's the name of it? He changed it initially, right?
The I don't know, the elbow something.
Talking trash with Yelvo. It's something like that, right?
Mhm.
Keep it real with Yelvo.
Oh, keeping it real with Yellow.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he keeps it pretty real.
He keeps it-
Hold my back. He don't
it's,
hold his back.
It's tough out there for a pimp. Let's just say that. I don't know what that means. All right. On that note, we're out of here. Thanks.
Bye.